We're going live. We're going live. Exactly 3 p.m. Nigerian time, and I'm back here in front of my laptop in my living room office, as I call it. Yes, and it's time for the Elegbetetv Table Talk. Too bad last week we couldn't host anyone because work was piling up and clients that do their job every time, between 3 and 4 were either on the road or something was happening, so don't have the table talk. Or right now, I'm happy to be back, and like I said at the beginning, it might not be consistent, but consider it that it has come to stay. And when we finally moved to our new office that we're just about to acquire, maybe table talk will be a lot more consistent and more dynamic, and we would have a few other things that we'll do about it. But first off, let me start with saying a special shout out, a special thank you, special appreciation to the fans of Al Nasser of Saudi Arabia. Now, I've been in around football all my life, so I understand football fans are a part of it, and I've seen fans of the teams that I played for, fans of the teams that I played against, and I've seen fans all over the world. But I think what the Al Nassr fans did with the signing of Ahmed Musa is the best thing that I've seen in and around football in a very long while, in the sense that I've not seen that kind of frenzy. I mean, let's face it, Ahmed Musa is not Lionel Messi, neither is it Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo by Juventus did not come with such frenzy. 2 a.m. In the airport, with such a massive crowd of over 10,000. That for me was fantastic. In the week gone by too, remember I made the announcement that Elegbetetv signed a deal to be the media partners of Juventus and Bayern Munich in the Nigerian territory for all of their events and activities. So that was what we got involved to do in this last week. This week that we're in, we'll be going to Abuja. But I've decided, because I have something else to do, I've decided that an advanced party will go. Advanced party had already gone since yesterday, but then on top, we look back to the Premier League that started on Friday night with Manchester United. However, they struggled, they managed to win. Like I always say, and like I always tell people, one of the hallmark of a good team is your ability to win on the day that you play badly. If football is all about winning only on the days you play well, then that kind of a team will not be a champion. Then it was also beautiful to see Tottenham Hotspur not play too well, but win against Newcastle. Sad for Newcastle because I think at some point in some patches of that game, they did play very well. They did take the game, to the opposition, and I expected them to win, but that didn't happen. Sad to see Everton draw that game because I actually put a very heavy bet. Yeah, bets. I put a very heavy money on Betway. Everton were going to win, and the game ended in a draw for 2-2. So and I was actually thinking of betting that both teams would score in that game, but I felt Everton had enough in them to win that game at Wolves, but it ended 2-2. And then there was the Liverpool game. Liverpool was fantastic over West Ham. They tore them apart. Could have won that game up to 6, 7, or 8 goals to nothing. But they won 4-0. That was fantastic. Bayern Munich showed that they've not lost anything. They sent a warning signal to Borussia Dortmund and the rest of the. And here to stay. Paris Saint-Germain, had to depend on charismatic kind of goalkeeping from the Kent goalkeeper. But either ways, it was fantastic. It was beautiful. That they won 3 goals to nothing. Mbappe did score over the weekend, but it was fine. And yes, I agree with you, Peter. He said the red card changed the course of the game, but I actually hold on and win the game 2-1, giving me some good extra money in the pockets. But come on, but life happens. So let's take Manchester City, Arsenal. Prize that Arsenal lost. Like I told people, I'm willing to give Unai Emery time and the patience for the next 3, 4, 5 years and see how it goes. Because the decay that has come about the last 10 years of Arsene Wenger, the last 12 years of Arsene Wenger, it's not going to go away with just one season or one transfer window. There'll be a lot of pruning and shopping, week after week, after window, and we'll see how it goes eventually. That's for sure. But at least there were signs. Some of the new players that were signed in were signs that they could really come good. I think with time, this team needs to purge itself of Wenger. By that time, almost all the players signed by Wenger needs to be kicked out of the team, and then we'll see how it goes. Are still in their effervescent best. I think against Arsenal in the second half, they were not really imperious. They were not fantastic. Too many times where the goalkeeper, made too many mistakes. Ederson got carried away. A good team would have taken advantage of that and punished Man City. But again, this is Man City. Hey, Arsenal team was afraid of them. The Man City team have beaten Arsenal too many times. So I guess Arsenal team was afraid of them. And that's exactly why that happened. Having said that, let's move further down the road and see that Steven Gerrard is beginning to come into life coach. And I think he's doing Thierry Henry is still looking for his first job. We hear the rumor that he's in the running for the Leicester City job. The thing with this type of rumors is it always happens a lot with black colored coaches. They get linked to just about every job, but they don't get the job. Yeah, that happens with black coaches a lot. So Thierry Henry needs to watch it and get his mind off the Premiership. Maybe it should go start with a club in France or somewhere else, and then grow his coaching CV from there. It's not going to happen overnight. But he's a very big figure anyway. It's a very big figure, but let's see how it goes. Maybe it will be the successor for Unai Emery eventually, but that will take a bit of a while for that to happen. I also hold on, please, guys. Hello, Abdullah. Good afternoon. To their house. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I needed to take that call. It's a call from the guys at the gates. I thought somebody was coming in. Okay, having said that, I think also Frank Lampard started not too good, not too bad, but it's just the beginning. One thing that I think we should look at for this season, Marcelo Bielsa have brought a different angle to Leeds United, and they just might be my early pick. Yeah, they're my early pick to gain promotion to the top division, alongside maybe Aston Villa or any other thing. But if you ask me one team to pick to look out for in the Championship this season, it has to be Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United. I think it's about time they get back into the Premiership, and this season might just be that season. But then, I mean, the Championship is more competitive than the Premiership, so anything is possible. It's one of the most unpredictable league in the world. Juventus also good to see that Cristiano Ronaldo is slotting seamlessly into life in Italy. One player who doesn't seem to struggle anywhere he goes is Cristiano Ronaldo. I think aura, his work rate, his ability to show commitment, dedication, and it takes over the stage. So it's a good thing for Juventus, good thing for Cristiano Ronaldo. I thought it was going to relax and play like, okay, you know what, I've already arrived, and but it's obviously shown that it can start from the scratch. At the end of the day, Cristiano Ronaldo is getting into that Hall of Fame mark of one of the all-time greatest footballers. If he's not already in that top 3 or top 5 bracket already, but I mean, he's done very well. I think that this season might be shaky for Paris Saint-Germain. They're not careful. I think at the end of the season, two major Neymar to Real Madrid and Pogba to FC Barcelona. That might just be the thing, that the catalyst that changes the tide again, because the English league seems to be like they're moving. They've got some left Spain. This is my calculation. I think Neymar is going to come back to Spain for Real Madrid, and to respond or to counterbalance it. Uh, Barcelona would eventually go sign Pogba. I still think that there's going to be that tossy-turvy relationship between Pogba and Jose Mourinho. To just imagine when we lose, the next time they play and they lose, and then Mourinho comes out that if he runs against referees, maybe it's okay, but he runs against players, then becomes a problem. But let's see how it goes. For you guys who are your voucher. I'm sorry, we actually plan to deliver to your office, but we're pressed for time. We're pressed. Maybe this week is completely out of favor. Next week, when I come back from Abuja, the team, everybody's working right now. Precious is on it. Ahmed is now, it's not it's a no-go area at all. We don't have anybody. The person we're thinking, Sebastian, that we're thinking we're going to send across, has got something else that he's doing on, so we're happy anyway that people from our team are being picked to go join other group to do things. But let's hope that one way or the other, they get better. But having said that, let me come to everybody that has been here. Wad Al Mahadi of El Nasser, thank you for joining us earlier. Maybe he's left, I don't know. Peter Pitflow, say hello, boss. Thank you for joining us. Aurelie, they say happy to join you live today. Thank you very much for joining. And then Peter Pitflow said the red card changed the course of the game. That's the Everton game. Also, Precious, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Elegbetetv crew, thank you very much. And then also Precious said Bielsa and Leeds United. I was waiting for that. Yeah. That Leeds team style of play is very expansive and explosive. Yes, they are. More like the Liverpool of the Championship, but they are more solid at the back compared to Liverpool. But let's see how it goes. But I'm tipping them to gain promotion. I'm tipping them as one of these teams that will gain promotion. They might not gain it directly. They might get through the playoff. But I think what will be good for them is for them to play for direct promotion, because playoff sometimes could just get a little bit tricky and could ruin all the good works. But I mean, let me hear from you guys, those of you that are viewing already. How was last week for you? For us, it was walk, 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 like Rihanna's song. We're walking. The Juventus project was heavy on us, but I'm still learning the CEO thing anyway. This line of work that I'm doing, I'm still learning. I'm still at a place where I am just trying to grow and see what I can do. But for now, I want to say that the miracles of what we do is based on the crew that I have. People like Kalijaye, Precious Samori, and the rest of the crew, they've been fantastic. So they make a very difficult job look so easy. And sometimes people assume that, this is an easy job. It's not really that easy. But let's come to the fact that I need to hear from you guys. So who do I start from now? Well, I don't know who's there. I know that there are 3 people there. So let's get the conversation going. How was your weekend? How was last week for you guys? And what's the projection going forward for us this week? We'll continue with the Juventus work, and then we have advanced party in Abuja already. By Thursday, the rest of us will be in Abuja, and then Friday they will round up, and most likely on Saturday morning we're back in Lagos, and then we'll start preparing for all the things and hoping that we would get it well. Very soon, there is an announcement coming in. We'll make that announcement very soon. We'll see how it goes. But right now, we're just how do I put it? We're just keeping things on our Ambassador Precious, please, if you can, we would like you to drop by. Give us a few weeks if you can be patient, so that we'll come to you. Peter, I'm supposed to send you a jersey, right? I promised you a jersey. I hope that it's not a jersey that I've given out, because I've given out all the World Cup jerseys since. So I've been giving out all the jersey. Like I gave out the Uruguay jersey, I gave out the Japan jersey, I gave out the Argentine jersey, Colombian, Spain. I've been giving out jerseys. I hope I'm not giving out your own anyway. But let me take this. Man City running away with the title again this season? Definitely not. But I think that it's going to be a battle between Man City and Liverpool. Now, Liverpool needs to show their mental against side. I've tipped Liverpool as a team that Uruguay has been giving out. I gave out Uruguay this weekend. Sorry. Who do we give Uruguay jersey to? Tosin, right? That's what we give to Tosin. Sorry, I knew that jersey. I promised it to someone as well. Sorry, there's a few other jerseys, not a lot anymore. There's a few other jerseys available now. Sorry. We're giving out the Liverpool, the Uruguayan jersey. And by the way, Peter, what club do you support? Okay, I don't know. Let me know the club you support. Maybe we can substitute that one and give you a club jersey. We'll try and see how it goes. Okay, coming back to Precious's question, I think that it's a two-way battle between Man City and Liverpool. If there are dark horses in the race, it has to be Chelsea. Chelsea is a dark horse in the race. Not sure. Oh, Chelsea is your team. That's easy. Now I got the Chelsea jersey for you. Not really sure if I think they will win the title, but I just put them in the spot for dark horses. Man United, I don't think they'll compete for the title. I don't think they're solid enough to compete for the title. I don't want to believe that Manchester United will work miracle. Jose Mourinho will not tweak his team to play better than we've seen them play, but that's a matter for another day. Let's wait till after the first game, they will start dissecting that. What else again did I plan to talk about? Let me come to you guys. Also, I was last week for you. We start the table talk because you've really got into it. So, but it's gonna be like that sometimes. Like to just go that off because I need to be at some places, need to do some stuff, and I can't help it. Take for instance, on Thursday, the reason why the show will work is my flight is 3 p.m. My flight is 3 p.m. So I'll be at the airport like 2 or 1:30 waiting for my flight, and then Master Pressure say, what do you think Arsenal should do differently against Chelsea on Saturday despite the easy win over Huddersfield? They still do not look convincing. Well, I think what Arsenal needs to do differently is Emery should try and play with a twin striker. Should drop Eric Mkhitaryan. I don't think he's in form yet. He should drop Eric Mkhitaryan. That's why good day to you too. I think he should drop Mkhitaryan and play either Alex Iwobi, who is mobile, or put Ramsey there. I don't think Ramsey should play up front. He was playing in the wrong position, so he was useless in that game. And he shouldn't also be afraid to drop Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil doesn't seem to be in the right frame of mind. So it's better you put people who are grafters, who are ready to work, who will give everything. I would rather play Smith. What I was thinking anyway, what I was thinking Unai Emery is doing against Man City and he's going to do against Chelsea is, first off, to give everybody a reason to see why he should drop Peter Cech and start with Bernard Lennon. That's my opinion. I might be wrong, but I think he's trying to expose the weaknesses of certain players so that when he drops them going forward, way to expose them than to play them in these two big games back to back. That's why even after the match, he just came out in the press conference and the first thing he said was that he was going to stick to Peter Cech. I think psychologically I know what he's doing. He's trying to expose certain people like these guys are not good enough so that when he begins to drop them, nobody's going to come and say, why did you drop this guy? Why is this guy not playing? You understand? Because after that time, it will be ton of event. It's not good to start the season losing 2 games back to back, but it is something that Arsenal fans happen that Arsenal will lose their first 2 games, or probably lose. Okay, they've lost the first one, probably draw against Chelsea because the frailty in the Chelsea team is defense, but the Arsenal team, they are always one pass too many. And then when I saw Man City creating that high line of defense, I thought that they could take advantage of it because of the high press that Man City was doing, but they still couldn't take advantage of it. So it's going to be a little bit difficult. Decision making in the final third for Arsenal has been a problem in the last couple of years. It was still evident yesterday, even though part of it was because they respected Man City too much. I think the Chelsea game is a derby on Saturday, so more like derby games go and come the way it is. But if we go with Sarri's ball, the way the team played, I think that Chelsea team can stand their own against quite a few people. So they're not a team to just underrate like that. I'm also impressed to say this sounds similar to what Conte did to Ivanovic after losing 3-0 to Arsenal in his first season. He allowed the senior players screen themselves out of the team. Yes, I think that's what he's. You come into a team that does not have money like Man City, the management is not willing to drop money like Guardiola. You know, when Pep Guardiola came to Man City, first thing he did, he just showed his intention. Joe Hart is going. He let everybody know some of the players are going to go. He made them feel like you guys are going to leave here. And then he went out to start buying replacement. But in this Arsenal team, you can't afford to do that because if you show your intention that you want to drop people, they are still strong in the dressing room. When I say strong in the dressing room, the Wenger boys are still more than the Emery boys. And you don't want to create that you cannot handle. If it was like, okay, they signed him at £250 million and say do an overhaul, you can understand. But when you look at Arsenal, when you know that the Arsenal team deals with, if you want to buy, you sell. The next window they have to buy players will be in January. Some of the players they have cannot be sold. Ozil is a good example. Ozil cannot be sold. He just renewed his contract, and I think he thought about it. That's why he renewed his contract. Ozil is not sellable, so you've got to manage him and get the best out of him. If you ask me, I would have sold Ramsey. If you ask me, I would have sold Ramsey and brought in Uzonzi. You know the reason why is Arsenal need fighters, even though they need ball carriers, but they need a lot of fighters. People who are not afraid to tackle, pick up red card and all that, but they could also learn how to do it cleanly. That he was unable to do. Couldn't also sell Welbeck. Couldn't sell Welbeck and a few other players. But let's see how it goes anyway. Gospel Awari say derby games, but I expect Arsenal to come out better against Chelsea. Do well. I respect your opinion. If you're an Arsenal fan, you obviously expect that, but it's not what you expect as a fan. It is the reality. The truth is, if Arsenal had played, who did Chelsea play this weekend? Chelsea played away and won 3-0, right? Who did Chelsea play? No, Leicester was Man City. Who did Chelsea play? Okay, they played Huddersfield and went 3-0. Let's be honest to God here from this conversation. If Arsenal had played Huddersfield and won 3-0, like Chelsea won, and Chelsea played Man City and lost 2-0, would you confidently say Chelsea will beat Arsenal? So, fans, I want to look at it from that angle. Let's also understand the beats where momentum is on the side of Chelsea, and they are going to be playing at home at Stamford Bridge. I think the best result Arsenal can get from that game is a draw. If they win, fantastic, good for them. Also precious to say, if we go with Sarri ball, we may end up with a basketball scoreline. The game may end 6-6. That's sorry for you. But I think if you look at the Chelsea backline of of David Lewis and the rest of the crew, there are players who like to play from the back one. There are players who also like to bump forward. There are players who don't hold a straight line. So these are the kind of game where if you have a player like but then Aubameyang need to come to the party with his A game. He seemed to have played in the Man City game with an absent mind, not really there. But let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. Pit Flow says, how do you think our clubs that are supposed to rep the EPFL will fail, since it does not look likely that the league might resume before cap deadline for leagues representative? Well, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go, but I think it's the greed of Giwa, Solomon Dalong, and foolishness of Amaju that is robbing us here. I mean, these people should put football ahead of anything that they do. Well, this is Nigeria, my dear. This happens in Nigeria. It's a normal thing. Every 4 years, this happens. So I'm not long, willing to even think about it, because there's some things you don't even put your mind to, and this is one of them. So, Peter, I would advise you, don't be worried. Don't be worried. It's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. That's just the truth about it. It's not worth the stress that people go through. Gospel Awari says, please update on Nigeria League. There's no update. The league is dead right now. It's in coma. It's in life support. They're trying to revive it. But village people like Long Amaju and are pressing on the button to make sure the league dies completely. Once we purchase, they say, is Ramsey that bad? Not that Ramsey is that bad, but the style of play that Unai Emery wants to play. Yes, the style of play that Unai Emery wants to play does not fit Ramsey. Is Ramsey that bad? I'm a Chelsea fan and believe Ramsey would have been a perfect fit to take Barkley's role as the third midfielder. He's a goal scoring midfielder and arrived late like Lampard. I agree with you. It fits Chelsea, it fits Sarri's ball, but it doesn't fit Unai Emery's game. So Unai Emery's game is more like Man City's game, the way Man City play. So it's going to be very difficult for him to fit into that team. And where they're trying to play now, it doesn't even go there. Maybe Unai Emery is trying to make some players come out bad so that he'll be able to have the time to kick them out and then get to some players. Reinforce his team and then get this going. So he should be careful how he does it. Why receive foolish explain it. What will you have done differently? Well, let me tell you what I would have done differently, since you're asking me, you're putting me on the spot. What I would have done differently was the fact that knowing fully well that, one, the government in power is directly against where the party I'm coming from, and this is Nigeria. Things are going like this. You've used NFF to get to where you want to get to. You've used NFF to get into CAF and FIFA. After the World Cup, announce your resignation and move on. That's one. But let me explain the word foolishness here. The foolishness of Amaju, because Amaju was running an NFF that was focused on the Super Eagles alone, negating the other team. That is administrative foolishness. If Amaju had run an NFF that catered for the whole team from under 15 to the Super Eagles, nobody would even do this. Everybody would 100%. The truth is, there are more people in NFF who want Amaju out than Amaju even